What if I told you there was a single universal algorithm that the cosmos uses to solve its biggest problem, its own existence, and that you can use that exact same algorithm to make a wise decision? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack here. A powerful formula that connects the entire universe to the choices you make every day. So let's start with a big question. What do the universe and a wise decision actually have in common? It sounds like a bit of a riddle, right? But the answer reveals this incredible parallel. It turns out both of them are in the exact same business, taking an infinite number of possibilities and finding one single, elegant answer. Okay, let's zoom out and start with the biggest problem you can possibly imagine: existence itself. Now, here's a wild idea. Think of our universe not as a thing, but as the solution to a ridiculously complex problem. And to really get our heads around that, a concept from computer science called P versus NP becomes the perfect metaphor. First up is NP. Now, forget all the technical computer science stuff for a second. In our cosmic analogy, just think of NP as this realm of pure, infinite potential. It's every possible future, every single path not taken, every universe that could have been, all existing at the exact same time in a timeless, chaotic soup of possibility. It's the question that contains every single answer you could dream of. But, we don't live in that infinite chaos. We live here, in this reality. And that's P. P is the single, elegant, concise answer that somehow crystallizes out of that infinite mess of NP. It's the one path the universe actually decided to walk. It's the one solution that we can actually check, verify, and, live in. It's the order that emerges from pure potential. And this quote just nails it. The process that turns all that infinite NP potential into the single P reality we experience, that's time. You can think of the universe as this giant computer, constantly running a calculation, collapsing every single possibility into the one thing we call now. It is a problem-solving machine on a truly cosmic scale. Okay, but here's where this whole thing gets really personal. That epic, cosmic process, turning infinite chaos into one clear solution, it's not just happening out there. A version of that very same algorithm is running inside your brain every single time you have to make a tough choice. So whenever you're faced with a big decision, your brain is actually running two totally separate calculations at the same time on these parallel tracks. On one side, you've got the ethical track. This is your brain figuring out the right thing to do, based on these timeless, orderly ideas like justice or dignity or peace. It's literally searching for perfect conceptual order. And then, on the other side, you've got the physical track. This is the part of your brain calculating the easiest thing to do, the path of least resistance, the one that takes the least time and effort. So how on earth does your brain take these two competing voices, the right path and the easy path, and turn them into actual wisdom? Well, it follows a surprisingly clear four-step process. Let's break down how this wisdom engine in your head actually works. So the whole process kicks off with those two parallel calculations we just talked about. Step 1, the ethical calc figures out the right thing to do. Step 2, the physical calc finds the easiest thing to do. Then comes the most important part, Step 3, synthesis. And this is crucial. The engine doesn't just average the two out. No, it prioritizes the ethical outcome. It makes the right thing the non-negotiable goal. The destination is set by your principles, not by your convenience. And what's so cool is that this ethical track isn't just about some vague, fuzzy feelings. It actually operates with a kind of consistent logic, almost like math. These timeless concepts, like justice and mercy, they fit together in predictable ways. So, as you see here, justice plus mercy equals a stable, balanced outcome: peace. The source material calls these conceptual primes, and they're like the basic building blocks for that perfect, orderly solution your brain is searching for. And that brings us to the final step, Step 4, mapping and execution. Once that ethical destination is locked in, the engine's last job is to find the most efficient physical route to get you there. And that's it. That is the definition of a wise decision. It's that amazing moment of clarity when the easiest path and the most meaningful path merge, and they become the exact same road. Okay, so this algorithm is a seriously powerful model for making personal choices. But what's really amazing is that it scales. This same framework can be used as a blueprint for how to structure entire societies. When you apply this to a society, you basically get 3 different ways of operating. You could have a pure pragmatist society, which always prioritizes efficiency and the easy path, but that can lead to moral decay. Or you could have an idealist society, which tries to weigh ethics and practicality equally, but often gets bogged down and becomes impractical. But the optimal model, the real sweet spot, is what's called ethical pragmatism. This is where ethics set that non-negotiable goal, and then you unleash pragmatism to find the cleverest way to get there.
So the big takeaway here is that this isn't about compromising your values. It's actually the opposite. Ethical pragmatism says you should use your principles, like justice, dignity, and peace, as the ultimate fixed destination. That part is non-negotiable. And then you use all the power of pragmatism and efficiency to find the fastest, smartest, most effective path to get there. It's basically a roadmap for building a smarter, more resilient, and frankly, more successful society.
And that, of course, brings us to the final and maybe most important question. This model gives us a formula for wisdom, for ourselves and for the world. But, knowing the formula and actually using it are two very different things. So how do we as people and as a society build the discipline to always prioritize the right destination, especially when that easy, purely pragmatic road is right there tempting us to take a shortcut? That's the real challenge this whole idea leaves us with.